In December of 2013, the EU Portraits project begins. The European Port Workers Training Scheme is financed by the 7th Framework Programme for Research and Technological Development of the European Commission, the European Union's main instrument for funding research from 2007 to 2013, which is also designed to respond to Europe's employment needs, competitiveness and quality of life. EU Portraits is led by the Hellenic Institute of Transport, Centre for Research and Technology HELLAS, with the participation of Hamburg Port Training Institute and Jacobs University, Germany, Port Institute for Studies and Cooperation of the Valencia region, Spain, Intermodal Logistics Training Consortium, Italy, VTT Technical Research Centre, Finland, Klaipėda Shipping Research Centre, Lithuania, and Xanthos Institute, Greece. The recent communication for the Commission entitled Ports, an Engine for Growth highlights the issue of port work as one of its cornerstones. The communication identified several actions to be pursued, including the creation of Port Sector Social Dialogue Committee, which was launched in June 2013. It highlights the issue of port work as an occupation with high risk of accidents and health implications for workers. It calls for the launching of a concerted action project to examine health and safety and training and qualification challenges in European Union ports. EU Portraits is the project through which this action is taking place. EU Portraits aims to support the objective of the social agenda for maritime transport in terms of training of port workers in different fields of port activities. The project's scope is to examine the current map of the European Union ports' human capital in relation to the sector's needs and requirements that, under the spectrum of technological changes, can ensure safe and efficient operations in the European Union ports industry. The specific objectives and actions of the European Union Portraits project include: identify and review current practices in port training, assess the future human resource requirements for European Union ports, facilitate an effective, broad and open dialogue of key stakeholders at national level, identify health and safety priorities. EU Portraits produce a systematic overview of current practices in port training, identified future human resources demand profiles, skills and training needs of the European Union port sector, and identified health and safety priority issues and associated training needs. The related work plan was based on a three-step approach. Examine the current European Union ports labour supply profile and existing training programs. Consider future developments in the port sector and determine related labour demand profiles and training needs. Identify current and future health and safety priorities that will result from the developments in the port sector and determine relevant training needs. Workshops have been organized in Cyprus, Spain, Finland, Italy, Lithuania and Germany, and bilateral consultations took place in Greece to discuss the future trends in the port industry and the future training needs. The participating national social partners provided expert input on the current status of port worker training in the different member states and on major issues and challenges facing each party and the industry in general. At European Union level, the European Social Dialogue Committee for the port sector has been regularly consulted and informed about the project. Industry experts have been interviewed and further input has been solicited. A cross-fertilization conference, which brought together industry experts who participated in the national workshops for further exchange of views and ideas, took place in Hamburg, Germany on June 6, 2016. The project final conference is taking place in Brussels, Belgium on November 28, 2016.